Now, Article 18 looks at the provision to secure protection of law. So we are saying that provision to secure protection of law. Okay, provisions to secure protection of law. What are we talking about, class? Every person has the right to access the protection of the law. All of us. If you have committed an offense, the law should first protect you by getting you prosecuted. Yes, no one should be condemned unless that person has been what? Has been prosecuted, and the court must be able to protection of the what? Of the law. So every person has the right to have access to the protection of the law. Then we have article number 18. Sorry, article number 19. Sorry. Article number 19 talks about protection of freedom of conscience. Conscience. So what are we talking about there? The article gives every human being the freedom of religion and thought other people. You have the protection. Some people, they say protection, freedom of conscience. All right? You are supposed to choose what is best for you. No one should force you, even at home. All right? No one should force you to choose what kind of worship you should do. But of course, make sure the law, it protects you. It gives you the freedom of religion and thought, which may also imply the freedom to change religion or belief, either as an individual. Are we together? So it looks at that. Article number 20 looks at of expression. And we are happy to be contributed to the development of this land. And as a mayor, if you individuals are free to hold opinions and exchange information without interferences. You've seen that. So you have the freedom. Express yourself. If you want to become a musician, go out, sing. If you want to become an actor, go out, express yourself. It is in your mandate. Are we together? So no one should stand to oppose your opinion. Opinions are very, very important because they change the way we think self as a teacher. Of course, within the ethics of my teaching profession. All right. Yeah. So let's look at the article number 21. Article number 21. Remember, we are still looking at the Zambian Bill of Rights. We said it has got articles from 11 to 32. We are now on article number 21. So if I am cruising, please you can still watch this video after this this lesson. But what are we saying? We are talking about the Zambian Bill of Rights. And article number 21 looks at the protection of freedom of assembly and association. Okay? Protection of freedom of assembly. Freedom of assembly and association. Now, this has brought a lot of conflict, class, because as you know that on the 12th of August, Zambia will be having elections, will be choosing elections called the tripartite general elections. Now, one thing that you are going to notice that people are not having what we call rallies. Why? Because we have what is now limiting us, including what we are politicians themselves. they cannot assemble in the normal rallies because we have freedom of assembly. But why are we not meeting? It's because of one thing that is limiting us, and that is COVID-19. But under normal circumstances, okay, we have the freedom to assemble. Politicians have the freedom to assemble. Churches have got freedom to assemble, even schools. But because of what is happening, it is limiting us. But what are we saying? That under this article, every citizen has the right to assemble freely and associate with others to form a bill of one's interest. Like associate, we can build a community, but because of COVID-19, we cannot do that. Why are they stopping us? No, it is not politically affiliated, but it is because of COVID-19. We share ideas. That's the idea behind. Because once we socialize, we come together, we are going protection of freedom and association. Now, Article 22 looks at the freedom of movement. Purposes. Again, no one should intimidate your rights, but with proper reasons. For example, they say because we have lessons at the comfort of shame or from discrimination. Enjoy equal rights. Certain race or certain Bill of Rights, it protects us from discrimination. So what are we saying? Status, political opinion, ethnicity, or even race. We've seen how certain sectors, we are seeing women are being brought on the board, and we see how the participation of women has brought an impact. You know how she has affected our lives because of the protection from what? Being discriminated, who are maybe albinos. As they are passing, people will do what? Will start minimizing them because of they are protected there. Okay. Article number 24. 24 looks at the protection of young persons from exploitation. Protection of young persons from exploitations. What are we saying? We are saying, even the member says, that when we preserve the young generation, we are preserving the future. Okay, so we want to protect the young persons from exploitation. What are we saying? It ensures protection of young persons from physical ill treatment and from all forms of neglect, cruelty, and exploitation. It also prohibits the trafficking of young persons. So in Zambia, we are not expecting that because we have this protection. No one should involve him or herself in human trafficking. Some few days ago, I saw on social media that one of the students is trafficking her friends to other places okay, in search of money. And this person is a student. You see, now that just on that act, the law had to pounce on that person. As we are talking right now, this person is arrested. Why? Because those people have got the protection from what? From being exploited. Okay. So we have got also article number 25. Article 25 looks at the derogation from fundamental rights and detention. Derogation from fundamental rights and detention. So this article, what we are saying that it provides for limitation on fundamental rights in terms of war or public emergency, except article number 12, 14, 15, and 18. We're saying it provides for limitation on fundamental rights in terms of war or what? Or emergencies. All right. So certain rights will be limited based on certain situations. For example, if you are found in a situation that is actually compromised, the law will just pounce on you and also limit a bit your movements, or you limit a bit your freedom of expression. So that's what we are talking about under this article, if there is a situation. Article number 26. Article 26. Now, Article 26 looks at the provision relating to restriction. Provision relating to restriction. So what are we talking about? Provisions relating to restriction. What we are saying is that the article deals with the provisions relating to the rights of restricted and detained person. Like I've just explained when I was just looking at derogation from fundamental rights detention. It is also similar. Once you are detained, certain rights are limited there. All right. We are almost there. Just some few articles and we wrap up. So we have article number 27. Article 27, it is a reference of certain matters to special tribunal. Okay? It is a reference of certain matters to special tribunal. So we are saying that the reference of certain matters special tribunal, reference of certain matters to certain special tribunal. So what we are saying under this article class, members of parliament can stop a bill which infringes on the Bill of Rights. So members of parliament, if they look at certain provisions which are conflicting with the Bill of Rights, they have got the ability or they have got the power to stop that matter. It makes a provision for the appointment of a special tribunal of two judges by the justice or by the chief justice. So class, what we are saying, if there is a matter that needs urgency, so the members of parliament will sit down and they'll put a stop. Then they're going to appoint certain individuals. Okay, we are saying these individuals are two judges by the chief justice to look at the matter and identify. If you remember what happened should be some 6 or 5 months ago, there were some shootings here in Lusaka where they shot one lawyer and also another member of the political party. You saw what happened. The president had to appoint certain individuals to look into the matter. There was a tribunal that was formed, okay, just so that they can find out the source, what really happened. So this is also what happens if there's a matter that needs to be further discussed. The members of parliament will stop that so that they can discuss it further. So the tribunal will report on a bill or statutory instrument which may not be consistent with the constitution. In other words, to find solution that will combat a given matter. So we are going to see article number 28. Now, Article 28 looks at the enforcement of protective provisions. Enforcement. Enforcement of protective provisions. What does that imply? We are saying that this article makes a provision for the enforcement of rights provided in the Bill of Rights. Persons whose rights are violated can complain to the High Court. In other words, it makes a provision for people if they feel their rights are not well respected. You can do what? Appeal to the court so that your rights are what? Are protected. Remember, the Bill of Rights looks at the protection of human rights. Then article number 29 to 31. This article number 29 to 31 looks at the special powers of the Republican president. Okay, this one looks at the special powers. Is the African Facebook, so you can just just search LITOVIA TV.
Matched with a high level of support. You cannot achieve that in an overcrowded. Schools offer excellent education services from preschool to senior secondary schools. Creso Schools combines years. At Creso Schools, we want to push open the doors into your world of success. And Fountain Gates Academy in or come in person to Go Center on plot number 17734 Nangwenya Road, Lusaka. Achievement does not happen by accident. It requires an environment that provides a high level of challenge. Schools are established on strong Christian moral principles and highly supportive learning environment and has been supporting students and families for over 17 years. At Crestdoor Boarding Schools, Moboyo Christian Academy in Siavonga, and Fountain Gates Academy in Chongwe, and at our legendary Go 17734 Nangwenya Road, Lusaka. Breaking the cycle of underachievement. You cannot achieve that in an overcrowded environment. Creso Schools are established on strong Christian moral fun and highly supportive learning environment and has been supporting students and families for over 17 years. Grade 12 at our boarding schools, Moboyo Christian Academy in Siavonga, and Fountain Gates Academy in Chongwe, and at our legendary Go 7734 Nangwenya Road, Lusaka. That provides a high level of challenge matched with a high level of support. You cannot achieve that in an overcrowded environment. Creso Schools are established on strong Christian schools combines rigorous academics with a fun and highly supportive learning environment and has been supporting students and families for over 17 years. At Creso Schools, we want to push open the doors into your world of Savonga and Fountain Gates Academy in Chongwe, and at our legendary Gospel Outreach Christian Academy in Lusaka. Visit our website on www.creso.org or come in person to Go Center on plot number 17734 Nangwenya Road, Lusaka. Breaking the cycle of underachievement does not happen by accident. It requires an environment that provides a high level of challenge matched with a high level of support. You cannot achieve that in an overcrowded environment. Creso Schools are established on strong Christian moral principles. Creso Schools offer excellent education services from preschool to senior secondary schools. Creso Schools combines rigorous academics with a fun and highly supportive learning environment and has been supporting students and families for over 17 years. At Creso Schools, we want to push open the doors into your world of success. We are currently enrolling from grade 1 to grade 12 at our boarding schools, Moboyo Christian Academy in Siavonga and Fountain Gates Academy in Chongwe, and at our legendary Gospel